What's up, Tiger Nation? Kurt Stubbs here with Talkin Tigers. It is week 9 of the Ohio high school football season. Your Tigers will be in Lancaster tonight to take on rival the Golden Gales. The 4-4 Golden Gales. A lot going on around Central Ohio tonight that we need to be paying attention to as Tiger supporters. I came out on Wednesday with my projections. So if you weren't able to see those, I posted those to my X account, formerly known as Twitter, for those of you that aren't familiar. So those are out there. Again, those are just projections. There's a lot of things that are moving parts. A game here, a game there. These are just what we think is going to happen and what we did. We tried to stay consistent throughout all the teams in the region, all 17 teams in the region. So if Team X beat Team Y, we kept that consistent all down through, because multiple teams have played certain teams. So we wanted to keep that consistent. So our numbers were consistent. So we think it's going to be, pretty accurate. Sure, there's going to be some things that are a little off. I think there's some toss-up games, especially tonight. We'll get into that here in a bit, but for the most part, I think they're pretty good. But we'll readjust based off of what happens tonight, and we'll come out with those projections. We'll have those projections much sooner this week. Now that they're all done, you just gotta update it with the results for tonight. All right, so we got the Golden Gales tonight. This is a 4-4 team. 25 second level points on the line tonight. If we could beat Lancaster, we have won every matchup since 2018. So Lancaster's interesting team. I think it's a team that's getting better. They started the year 1-2. They lost to 8-0 Hamilton Township, which was a D3, and they lost to 8-0 Canal Winchester, which is a D2. They beat Taze Valley, but I feel like the last 5 games for them have been a bit different. I think defensively they're playing pretty well. They're only giving up 14 points a game in their last 5. They're 3-2 in their last 5. They lost 10-0 to Darby, and they lost 13-3 against Groveport. With Lancaster, similar to Groveport, there's not a whole lot of margin for error with these teams, which is why you see typically these grinded out games. They want to shorten the possessions. They want long, sustained drives. So they want to pick up those 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4s, and move the chains. And if they can do that on you, they feel like they can stay in the game, just like, we previewed Groveport. We have to jump on these guys, get a couple, touchdown lead. And we've done that in 19, 20, 21, 22 against them. We've jumped out on them early, and they just, that offense has not been able to generate much against us. And when you get down 2 or 3 scores, you can put together a 15-play drive, but you're just, lessening the time that you have to make up for that deficit. So, again, like Groveport, got to get out to a lead, which I think we could do. We played pretty well down there. It was rainy 2 years ago, and we played Lancaster down there, but we jumped on them pretty good early. So hopefully we see the same thing tonight. But like I said, this is a team that's 3-2 over their last 5. They've been averaging a little under 15 and giving up about 14. So their margin for error is very small. For us tonight, let's just say that we win. We're looking at Liberty Davidson. Obviously, we want Liberty to win that game. We're looking at Wayne Springboro. That should be a Wayne win. Newark and Groveport is a win either way for us. If you want to look at it, like the one team that's kind of in our rearview mirror is Upper Arlington. They beat Groveport, they beat Groveport. So they're hoping that Groveport wins. So, maybe if you want to look at it that way, we'd rather see Newark win. But ultimately, I do think Groveport will win that game. But for us, we're getting 6.5 either way. And then Central Crossing Reynoldsburg's interesting. We haven't beat Reynoldsburg yet, but I don't foresee us losing to them next week. We would rather see Central Crossing beat Reynoldsburg because that's a 6.5. If Reynoldsburg beats Central Crossing, it's only 6 because Central Crossing is D2. So the other team that I mentioned earlier in the week, Upper Arlington, they have some games that they're monitoring as well, which they've beat Reynoldsburg, who plays Central Crossing tonight. They beat Big Walnut, who plays Scioto tonight. I think Big Walnut will win that game. Westerville Central plays Westland. I like Westerville Central in that game, so I think they'll get points there too. Groveport Newark, as I mentioned before, I think Groveport's going to win that, so I think they're going to get points for that. And then a team they beat is probably not favored tonight. Olentangy Orange plays Hilliard Bradley, so I think that it'll be difficult for them to get points there. Now, Upper Arlington itself plays Dublin Kaufman tonight, and if they lose this game, that's moot. It's a moot point. They do have 38.5 second level points on the line tonight with a win over Kaufman. That's a big rivalry game, but as I said, if they don't beat Kaufman, it's all a moot point that they would not catch us. And I'm assuming that we're going to win out. There is a scenario with the numbers that we and Upper Arlington can both finish with 22.90 points, the exact same amount of points. There is a legitimate scenario where that could happen. So that's something interesting to look for. We'll have a better idea if that is something that is still in play after tonight. We'll see how things shake out tonight. So those are kind of the games that you should be looking at tonight as a Tiger fan. I do think win out, we are in really good shape for that 4 spot. Right now I have us penciled in to meet New Albany in the first round, which would be a very challenging first round game. A 4-13 game. Last year it was against Central Crossing, and we were a heavy favorite, and we would be favored at home against New Albany, but that would be a game where you'd have to play 4 quarters of Tiger football inside the ditch next week. But those numbers could change a little bit, and it may end up being, somebody else may move into that spot, move up or down. But right now we see it as Pick Central against New Albany on the week 11 in the ditch. So we'll be back either Sunday or Monday, as always, with our delayed reaction. And at that point in time, we should have a much better idea of just how accurate our projections were. And if we need to tweak things, we'll tweak them, because we are definitely not perfect by any means. This is, again, just what we think is going to happen. But oftentimes what you think is going to happen doesn't happen. So let's stay tuned, and first and foremost, let's go out there and get a W tonight at Lancaster.